Earlier this week, I did a video of showing you a blank slate, good bones, what can you turn it into? I thought it was just only appropriate if we do a house that's had that done so you can see what you could turn it into. Welcome, folks. My name is Alister, your host, the Modern Modernist. There's actually two flippers that I know of that I would basically recommend. Yes, go buy a house they've turned into something else. And one of those today is Eric Lamb. Thank you, kind sir. Really appreciate you letting me film the house. But he also did tell me, full disclosure, this house is his listing and it's not his flip at all, but it is the contractor that did the work. He is the seller, the person owns the house, the person did the flip. And it's 2 years in the making, mostly due to permitting, but they didn't do this in 6 weeks. There's no way. It's pretty cool. Look, I'm in the corner of the kitchen, so I'm gonna loop you around. Watch this. The light fixtures throughout this house are amazing. Dining room. I'm gonna come all the way over. I mean, front door all the way over there. It's just next level. So if you want to take something this house started out originally, I believe it was like 2-bed, 1-bath, mid-century ranch, single story. It's still a single story, but now it's 4 bedrooms, a primary, a mini suite, an amazing ADU, which we will get to, because it also has a separate address, so you could rent that out, not just Airbnb, but a full-time rental. And then garage, 2 cars, which is separate, but it's not that hard to get to. So we'll get on it. Are you ready? So let's start with this kitchen. So obviously refrigerator, plumbed for water, stove, gas, stainless steel. I love it. The world's largest island, which I like. Hardware. This is the one thing on this house that some of it we have to disagree with. So I like this. This is done brilliantly, right? So the faucet in the kitchen matches the light fixtures, but that's where it stops. Unfortunately, we've gone with the HDTV black on white. It's all over the house. It just looks dated. It's going to look dated too because everyone has it. But this is just stunning. I would have gone with this throughout the whole house. Front door, everything. But there we go. Speaking of front doors, amazing. Let's just go straight outside. We'll just show what the outside looks like so you can actually see this. So there's the ADU down there. The ADU, it's actually a long driveway, double width. You could probably get 6 cars in a pinch, 4 comfortably. But this is the house. And like I said, Eric Lamb, listing agent. Thank you, kind sir. So, in this front, I just love this with the brick. You got a fireplace. Always nice to have a fireplace. They come in few and far between. And of course, if you take them out, you can't put them back in. And if you do a new build, you can't put one in. But there we go. So something else I've learned or come across is when you take a house and modify it, you move walls, you shift walls, people forget about light switches. They just do, and they end up in odd places. So this house, when I walked in today, I thought, well, let me see how they've done it. You ready? So there's a light switch. We are at the front door. Ready for this? As soon as you walk in the house, that is this one on the left. As you come across, there's 2 more light switches. So let's see, the one on the left does the light above our heads. Perfect when you walk in. And then the one to the right of it, right there. So there's your living room light. It's just, I was in a house the other day. It was actually a string and it's been modified and walls have been shifted. There was just light switches in odd places because they shifted a wall, moved lights, changed the room, but left the light switch where it was originally. So now it was nowhere near, it didn't make sense. And then as you come around this house, this hallway, so we're coming around the corner, this is the light switch for the hallway, obviously. And then this light switch here, so when you come up in the mornings, you come out of the bedrooms, you just turn that light straight on in there. It's just, there's a lot of thought where you place light switches. I know that sounds crazy, but people don't put any thought into it. They really don't. So when you get a house that was something else and been modified, new builds, yes, it's never an issue. But rarely do I see it on houses that have been modified. Rarely. So we're going to come down this hallway, and we are. So this is the, I guess you would call it the guest bathroom. There's 3 bedrooms down this hallway, a mini suite and 2 bedrooms. And look at this. So this would just shower, but it would just, you'd use a shower curtain. I think it should have had a glass partition, but I love this separation. These tiles I love. And then, wow, that's interesting. I've only looked at these, I haven't touched them. There's like they're raised. So there's a textured feel to them. And then this goes into the shower. But again, see the black fixtures. And look at this. I love these. These light fixtures are amazing. Sorry, there we go. I like that. I like that a lot. And then this, again, the mid-mod, you always have raised hanging. I just like the way this looks. It's a nice cabinet. That's done really well. And then, so guest bedroom, this is your standard bedroom, closet, street out front. These floors are throughout, which are consistent, which I like. See? I like that a lot. And then here's the additional, another bedroom. And then look at these lights. The light fixtures in this house. They're always good, and they match all the way through bedrooms. This is the mini suite. So if you're doing multi-generational living, this is a great house to do it in. And again, so you've got a different vanity to the other bathroom. Nice touch, really nice touch. There it is. Another cool light. Now I like this. This has the glass door for the shower. And again, got wall and then tiled the shower differently. So it's not just throughout. It's not too much of the same thing. Beautifully done. Let me go. While we're down this end of the house, I'm going to take you straight to the garage. So like I said, the garage is separated. So here's your separation. Okay, and you're just going to come straight in. Garage is all ready to make it a garage. Pardon the mess. But you could put storage down that wall, storage all the way down there, workbench, and then I would leave these walls blank so you can get a longer car possible in here. And I would definitely epoxy paint the floors. I really would. But there we go. So let's yard. We'll do yard. I'm gonna go back into the house. Do a little bit different today. Mix it up. Now I love trees. Look at the size of this. That is a mature tree if I ever saw one. Small lawn. I would turn this into vegetable beds, raised beds. Leave that all the same. And there's a fantastic patio for hosting. And that's straight off the kitchen. And there's your primary bedroom. So everyone has access to the yard. It's kind of nice. And let's go. Man, it's beautiful out there. Sacramento this summer is like so far. Now that the summer's here, high 70s, low 80s, and just stays that way consistent all day. It's beautiful. So this house, like I said, this house originally was mid-century, not mid-mod, with kind of like mid-mod accoutrement, if that makes any sense. So the celestry window up there, this probably would have been bare wood. I would actually strip that back and keep it bare wood. Just adds another layer of texture to the room rather than just being all white. So if I was to buy this, I'd strip that. That's a hell of a project, but that's what I would do. Laundry room. Now what's nice about this house, when you walk into rooms, a lot of motion sensors. So this is strange. So that is a massive water heater. I would have gone tankless. But anyway, that is your washer dryer hookup. And then this is the door. So this is, you're probably just dealing with an old house. And unfortunately, that's the way it was. But if you can see, this is the door, right? So you walk into this room this way, and then there's your washer dryer. And then there's a massive gap there. You'd probably, you'd only get away with a stackable. You'd have to do a stackable washer dryer, otherwise you'd have no room in this room. But it's my only complaint. But look, see the hardware? This is what you want throughout the whole house. It just looks amazing. And the other thing, light switches. So this house is it 1.3 million? It's not cheap, but it's beautifully done. But at that price bracket, I would love to see a trend of going with these have a texture to them, which is nice. But I would do all metal. I would look into custom switch plates, switches, so everything just kind of clicks and clacks and just looks different. It's a hell of an expense to do, but I think north of $1 million, that'd be a nice trend to see. That would really add some flavor. So this house, like I said, is 4 bedrooms. It also has an office. So you could probably, if you were doing multi-generational living, have this as a guest area, an office, and do like a Murphy bed in here. But there's a ton of space. Again, light fixtures, amazing. They've turned this into a really big house. So going through a doorway here, this is the primary suite. So primary bath, there's a toilet, separate little room within. Again, see all the fixtures, they match the faucet in the kitchen. I really like that. This one in here too. That looks, I think, is a speaker, which is, I don't know how you connect to it in the bathroom, but nice touch. The world's just, perfect soaking tub. Again, with the light fixtures. They're just awesome. They really are. And then you've got 2 closets. Again, ready? All motion switches. I love it. The dark spaces, it's great. Because you're going to walk out of here if you're a person. It depends. Some people get dressed in their closet, in their walk-in closet. Other people grab all their clothes and get dressed in the bathroom or the bedroom. But now you got your arms full. And you got to go flip a switch. No need. Take time's out and touch off where. And then there is just a smaller closet here. Or enough room for your stuff. And look at this. Such a great room. Again, with the light fixtures. And then that was outdoors. So far, so good. You're getting your money's worth with this house. People say, oh, property drives, they're so expensive. We're in Southland Park again today. Or Land Park, it's right on the cusp. But it's just not cheap. But it's a great neighborhood. And the architecture in this neighborhood is awesome. There's some Eichlers, there's some Strengths, there's some mid-centuries, there's some Tudors. It's like a box of chocolates. Literally, everything's a mix. It really is like what's that, like what's the one when you're Christmas when you're a kid? Whitman's. Yeah, the Whitman's sampler. That's what this neighborhood is. Literally, you know what you get? The house across the street, totally different than this house. The one around on the corner to the driveway where I'm parked, another completely different home. Really, really cool. So let's go look at the ADU. Now the ADU, I have not had a chance to walk in there today and unlock it. But one of the reasons why is, see these? These are the keys. So this is only the second time I've seen an agent do this. You've got multiple locks with multiple doors. And usually agents will just throw the keys in the lockbox. Have at it. Good luck, kids. So he's marked all the keys. I know that sounds like something common sense, right? You'd be amazed at how often you do not see that. And from experienced agents too. They'll just drop all the keys in the box. They'll figure it out. I love it. There is another agent that does this. And what he does, he actually color codes each key with painter's tape, like yellow, blue, green, red, and then rips a piece of the painter's tape off and puts that above the lock. So then it's just color coded. Same thing, but you rarely see this. Nice job, Eric. I like it. Makes my life easier, especially when you're showing a house. Kind of look like, oh, he's been here before. He knows what he's doing. It's like, no, the listing agent made my life look good. So let's go. Of course, now I got to reduce where I'm walking. There we go. We are golden. So the other reason why I did this intentionally was A, to show you the keys, but B, the light switch test. I think it's going to be my new thing. I'm just curious. It sounds silly. I know it sounds silly, but it's a thing. When you own a house, that's going to frustrate you. So we're going to go close the front door. Now this is the front door, by the way. Okay. So hopefully the hardware is all black here, so it matches the front door. All right, ready? So there's our switches. Let's see. So first switch on the 3 of the bank. It turned something on, but I don't know what. There we go. And there's the kitchen. I'm not sure. This must be, I bet that's the outside light. Yep, that's the outside light. Easy peasy. But these two here, you come in. So above your kitchen island there, let's see what switch that is. Now this is a really cool ADU. So we have another wall of switches here. There we go. And then that. So when you come out of the bedrooms in the morning, that will control, that was the fan. Yeah, very neat. So, like I said, this house took 2 years in the making. So you will have gotten some design trends in those 2 years and tastes that have changed, that I see over there and I see here. So one of those designs changed that has changed. So my guess is this was done last, is your island cabinets. The new trend is to have them a different color to the kitchen cabinets. That is a thing. That is a new trend. I've been swearing by it since I've been doing the channel, because I just think it's kind of cool. Same as I would paint the exterior of the front door an interesting color and then have the island be that color. But that's me. So we are this like a battleship gray, which when I was a kid, that was my favorite color. And there's the island. How neat is that? Very cool. I do like, I don't know, I would like Eric's houses. I mean, or at least, you know, and clearly his contractor has the same taste. So this is the laundry room. Again, tankless water, a tanked water heater. Just go tankless. You're on a single story. They use, don't get me wrong, they're not cheap, but they just use so much less space. Again, this laundry room, you would go stackable because it's just skinny and tight in here, but you're not going to feel that when you're doing laundry with a stackable. You'll be fine. And now let's see what this light switch does. Boom. See, nailed it. Done a really good job. So get this bedroom here. Closet. This bedroom has, now don't forget, this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath ADU. Okay. Oh man, I love how the fact that all the vanities are different. Oh, that's a huge touch that you're not going to notice right away. That's something just when you start living here, you're like, oh, it's just one of those things. It's not an instant. It really isn't. But I love this. Very, very cool. So this is the primary. Yes, I said primary in an ADU. It's a primary suite. So the guest bedroom in the ADU has a bathroom. And then so does this. And again, with the vanity. And this, I like the way the floors run straight out to the door. Nice job. Perfect. Way it should be. And then this has, even in an ADU, has a walk-in closet. Look at that. I like it. Kind of like arrowhead shaped. And it's the only closet in the house that so far doesn't have a motion detector light, but it's the ADU. So they get to use their own switches. But there we go. And now look at this. Let's just get this room in. This is just the coolest thing. So this is an ADU. To have it as a rent, if you did a full-time rental on it, I was talking to Eric and he was expecting you'd probably $2,800 a month to rent this. Yeah, that's expensive. That's a lot of money, but it goes with the neighborhood. That's what it costs to rent in this neighborhood. But if you're buying a $1.3 million house and then you've got rental income over here at $2,800, that's not bad. That's a good thing. And if you did Airbnb, which people get nervous with Airbnbs, they do have a higher or a greater chance of, you've got multiple tenants, so your chance of having a tenant that's bad and destroying something is higher. So there's your downside Airbnbs. Your upside Airbnbs, you could get $2,800 in rent fees if you fill it every night in a week. So if you price it right, you're gonna get close. So you could get 3-4 times the rent in a month out of doing Airbnb. But Airbnb comes with its own drawbacks too. So, but this is completely separate. It's got its own address. So that's why it's nice to do a full-time rental in here, because your tenants would have their own mail coming to their address, their door, which is kind of nice. So there we go, folks. Yeah, it's just such a cool house. I do. This is one of the best flips conversions I've seen in a minute. And I know it's a minute, tiny little detail, but it's in the light switches. If they did that, what else did they do right? My guess is pretty much everything. It's fantastic. Great house. Eric, I can't thank you enough, sir. Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's always nice when agents let me film properties that they have listed. It's just superb. I love it. So thank you very much. So there we go, folks. If you could please like, subscribe, comment. I actually like the comments. I really do. Negative or positive. They all help. They in some way, shape, or form. They all help, believe it or not. So, but more importantly, please subscribe. I do. I really appreciate folks taking the time to watch these videos that I put together. I like it. So thank you. Anyway, folks, once again, my name is Alister, your host, the Modern Modernist, and be good to each other, humans. Bye-bye.